What is it, Steven? What are you gonna call me next? What are you gonna? What dumbass question are you gonna ask me now, Steven?
Did you end up talking to that officer that was speeding?
At MRPD, there was like 17 ones. You didn't really spy.
Was it who? Hey,
like 17 cops there.
Do you guys have like certain badges drive certain vehicles? Like who drives an SUV?
Why are you so interested in what the police are doing, Steven?
Oh, I'm just wondering. See, I was looking over there at the legislation, and it said something about like the state have overseeing authority over everything, and I don't know. Like, what did you ever think about the troopers? Weren't they something about the state or something like that?
I was a part of the troopers.
Right. Was there any legislation or anything to say that it was abolished? I'm just curious as to where it's gone.
I don't know about abolish, but inactive, yeah, for sure.
What does that mean?
Well, there's nothing that said. Here's the answer. Nothing has been said that would make it abolished in writing in legislation. So, I think it would come down to the state would have to open it back up.
That's Did you know one of the first legislations written says if you are a part of the council and you've been convicted by a felony at any point,
you get removed.
Yeah, I was just wondering, ain't that a little bit strange for the mayor being a convicted
the commissioner
terrorist?
Oh yeah. What happened years ago, I don't know. A lot of people just allowed shit to happen. I don't know.
Nobody's brought that up at all. Nobody's.
I mean, it's definitely brought up all the time.
That somebody is the mayor that shouldn't be the mayor.
That the mayor was an ex-terrorist. I mean, it's brought up all the time.
Well. I mean, the legislation to do with that as well would imply that he should be capable of being impeached. I'm just.
Well, here's the thing as well. Everybody's records were wiped clean.
That's irrelevant.
Well, I mean, if he was a convicted felon.
It doesn't say you have to have a record. It says that you had to have been convicted in a court in San Andreas. And he was. Do you know how to fucking read, sir? Does anybody know how to fucking read in this city?
What is your question then?
Why would somebody that has been convicted and knowingly convicted be able to be the mayor or a part of the council? I'm just curious.
That's a good question, and I don't know the answer to it. And I would have thought that somebody would have stepped in, because whenever that happened,
you're a sheriff.
Now I am.
Of
now
the people.
I am.
I'm just curious.
I am now.
Like, we're in a city
now
with
I am.
millions.
But whenever all these legislation was passed, I had nothing to do with any of that.
Well, I believe that legislation was just sort of slapped in. It's not that the legislation is necessarily incorrect. It's the impeachment part that could be possible, I guess. But it also says may be impeached. So it's like, if it says may, it's sort of like, why the fuck is this even here? Because it doesn't mean anything. It's retarded. Do you happen to know who wrote all this legislation?
Majority of it, I believe, is made by the city council and Crane.
Oh, Crane. He was a pretty wise man, actually, back in the day. Maybe it was just a mind slip or something.
Yeah, I mean, the state also appointed him in that position, so.
Considering it's the foundation and the very first legislation that was ever written, it has a may in it as a possibility that could factor into being a yes or no in something that's meant to be a confirmative statement. It's just strange. It's just strange to me. Anyways, what you been up to, Bones?
Hey, Steven. I'm doing my job, Steven. What about you, Steven?
You're doing your job. Okay. Well, have you gone down to the courthouse to start to impeach Mr. Mayor ass here, or what?
No, I have not gone to the courthouse.
Let me just check.
And started to impeach the. Drive to the courthouse.
Does anybody know if the sheriff is elected by the people for the people to do something for the people? Anybody?
Yes. Well, here's another thing, Steven. I'm gonna let you listen to this. The mayor is also my boss.
Okay, what's that?
He's the commissioner. So trying to operate a whole investigation on the mayor is not as easy as you think it would be.
So who would have the authority to shut down the state police then?
Probably the commissioner.
If the commissioner is under the mayor and the mayor is under the state.
No. The commissioner is the mayor. It's no under. He is this. Right. It's the same person.
Listen.
I'm listening.
Listen to me, fuckface. I'm talking in a way in which the legislation.
Watch the language. Let's not do this language shit.
It's free speech, motherfucker. Suck my balls.
Yeah. But if we're gonna talk and have a casual conversation, and you're gonna keep calling my phone,
he called
let's
me
be respectful.
Fuckhead. You're such a goddamn pussy bones. You know that?
I'm just asking for a little bit of courtesy when we're talking to each other.
Maybe you shouldn't be offended by a swear word. It's just a fucking word.
I'm not offended. I'm just saying, knock that shit off. Let's just talk like a fucking normal man.
So why are you yelling at me, huh? Why are you yelling at me, huh?
I'm sorry. My bad, Steven. My bad, Steven. I just fight fire with fire.
I'm just trying to ask you a logical question. In the legislation, it says the mayor falls under the state. Okay, the state is above the mayor and the DOJ.
And the state's above me as well. Mm-hmm.
Right. And the state police would fall under who in that circumstance is what I'm asking. Bones?
In my opinion, they would be operating under the state, but I would also think that the mayor is also operating under the state when it comes to the commissioner's office, so they would operate hand in hand with the commissioner.
That makes absolutely no sense. In fact, I think I'm getting dumber and dumber by listening to you.
Okay, well, here's my logic, right? The commissioner
is under the mayor.
Works with the state, and no, he's not under the mayor. It's not.
That's what it says in the legislation. Doesn't it say it's appointed by the mayor?
Read PCP 2.0.
Okay, but I mean, what's it say? I can't. I'm at the PD. I can't just fucking open a fucking MDT out of my asshole like you. Okay.
The mayor initiates the commissioner, but it is a names that it's a names collected by the LSPD in order to submit them to the state.
What so the state does? Yeah, that doesn't mean they are the state. That means the state is who can say yes or no to something like that.
Yes, but all he is doing is initiating them and announcing that type of stuff and carrying that on.
Exactly. So he isn't the state. He is under the state, like I goddamn said. You just reinforced.
Okay, so the troopers would fall under the state. Yes.
Right.
Let me read the
who would have the
part
power
of this.
to drop the goddamn troopers, asshole?
The state.
There we go. Okay.
Why do you ask me all this dumbass question?
Well, I'm just curious.
If you already know the answer.
Well, I mean, listen. Sometimes you need to speak out loud to have it heard back to see if you are actually retarded or not. And I guess I'm not. I guess what I thought made sense. If you logically thought about it.
Well, the commissioner is also the absolute head of the law enforcement chain of command. And the commissioner does not answer to the mayor's office in any capacity after being selected.
What did you say? Can you read that again?
A commissioner is empowered to carry out the function of law enforcement at the highest level as a political attached between the state and the law enforcement communities. The commissioner is the absolute head of law enforcement chain of command.
Yes. I mean,
and the commissioner does not answer to the mayor's office.
He said, but it still says between the
state and law enforcement. Yes. The commissioner is the highest ranking individual in regards to every existing or future law enforcement department in Los Santos. So there you go. There's your answer. The commissioner would still.
Yes, Los Santos is the city, correct? Not San Andreas, the state. San Andreas State Police.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Interesting.
Los Santos is the city.
Very, very interesting.
I
just wonder if there's any legislation that was ever written to say that the state police didn't exist. I'm just curious.
I have not seen any legislation that particularly says that the state police is not a thing and cannot be a thing.
Well, it's not about not being a thing. If it was a thing back then, why would it have stopped? Now I think about it, I'm even more confused. Hey, so out of curiosity,
I'm confused. Do you think just some random Joe Schmo can just be like, "Hey, I'm starting the troopers up. I talked to the state."
Oh no! I wasn't insinuating that. I'm just sort of curious on how, the police fell apart back in the day, and if that was even legitimate, I guess.
Why do you think the police fell apart back in the day?
Politics.
Mention me that. Politics. What else?
That's about it. Politics.
All right, Steven.
Tell me something. The police force you have right now, okay? Is it the best police force you've ever seen in Los Santos? That says enough. The silence is deafening.